The neon lights are glowing through the haze, another long and lonely Friday night. The jukebox sings of better yesterdays, while shadows dance beneath the pale moonlight. I've got a worn out hat upon my head and a heart that's heavier than it seems, so I pull up a chair and raise a glass beside this river of broken dreams. The bartender knows my name by now. He's heard every story that I tell about a love that slipped right through my hands and left me walking through my own hell. The whiskey burns but never heals the pain. It only fuels these memories in between. Still I keep coming back night after dreams. Take me down, river of broken dreams. Carry away these old memories. Let the current wash away the pain and leave me standing in the sun again. I've been holding on for far too long to a love that's gone and a heart unseen. Take me down, river of broken dreams, and set this weary soul free. Outside the rain falls softly on the street, like heaven's tears for hearts that lost their way. I watch the headlights disappear at night and wonder if you'll think of me someday. The band is playing one last country song, a melody both bitter and serene, and every note drifts through the smoky air across this river of broken dreams. Take me down, river of broken dreams. Carry away these old memories. Let the current wash away the pain and leave me standing in the sun again. I've been holding on for far too long to a love that's gone and a heart unseen. Take me down, river of broken dreams, and set this weary soul free. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally move on. Maybe the dawn will help me understand that every road must someday find its end. But tonight I'll sit here one more while, listen to the night's old symphony as the river keeps rolling endlessly, calling softly to me. Take me down, river of broken dreams. Carry away these old memories. Let the current away the pain and leave me standing in the sun again. I've been holding on for far too long to a love that's gone and a heart unseen, and set this weary soul free. Last call echoes through the room. The moon hangs low above the trees, and somewhere beyond the darkness tonight flows the river of broken dreams. I woke up this morning to a robin's gentle song, the kind of simple melody that helps you carry on. The storm that passed last evening left the world washed clean and bright. The old oak by the farmhouse stood proud against the sky, like it had weathered every coffee and watched the day begin, feeling something peaceful settling deep within. Times I walk through valleys only lonely hearts can know, but every road has taught me that sorrow doesn't stay, can brighten up a weary soul more than words can say. It's sunshine after the rain, blue horizons once again. Every dream looks a little brighter when the light comes pouring in. The world feels brand new this morning, every worry far away. I'm living for the sunshine after the rain. The birds are singing louder, the sky was drawing near. No matter how long the storm cloud stayed, there's sunshine after the rain. Down at the diner on the corner, everybody knew my name, talking about the weather and the ball game just the same. The laughter filled the room like music from the past. An old man sitting near me said, "Son, here's what I found. The good things in this life are usually all around. You don't need a fortune and a heart that's grateful still. It's sunshine after the rain, blue horizons once again. Every dream looks a little brighter when the light comes pouring in. The world feels brand new this morning, every worry far away. I'm living for the sunshine after the rain. I'm living for the sunshine after the rain." clouds may gather someday and the winds may start to rise, but I won't be afraid of what I see across the skies, because every storm I've weathered has taught me one thing true: the sun is always waiting to come shining through. It's sunshine after the rain dancing through my window pane. Every road ahead is glowing in the golden light again. The future looks a little sweeter than it did yesterday. I'm living for the sunshine after the rain. With every new beginning, every chance to start, the light keeps finding pathways to a hopeful heart. And as long as the sky above can change from gray to blue, I'll keep believing dreams come true. Sunshine after the rain, a brand new day begins. The dashboard lights were fading as the rain began to fall. Another sleepless highway stretching farther than them all. I left a Mario sometime around 2:30 with a coffee in my left hand and old memories of you. The radio was crackling with a song I used to know, about lonely hearts and drifters where the restless people go. Truck stop signs were glowing like ghosts beside the lane, and every mile behind me felt the same as every train. These midnight highway blues keep riding next to me like a shadow in the headlights on a road that never sleeps. Every town I leave behind, every neon sign I lose, still carries one more echo of these midnight highway blues. I've traded sleep for freedom and comfort for the wind, but every dawn reminds me where my wandering begins. No matter how far I drive beneath these midnight highway blues. I pulled into a roadside bar just west of Abilene, where the jukebox played old country and the smoke hung thick and mean. A waitress with tired eyes poured whiskey in my glass. Said, honey, the broken souls eventually pass. I laughed and told her softly that I wasn't passing through, just running from the silence that kept bringing back your truth. Outside, the thunder rolled across the Texas midnight sky, and somewhere in the darkness I could hear a coyote sky, and somewhere in the darkness I could hear a coyote cry. These midnight highway blues keep riding next to me like a shadow in the headlights on a road that never sleeps. Every town I leave behind, every neon sign I lose, still carries one more echo of these midnight highway blues. I've traded sleep for freedom and comfort for the wind, but every dawn reminds me where my wandering begins. No matter how far I drive beneath these midnight highway blues. Maybe some hearts are born to wander while others learn to stay. Maybe every broken dream just finds another highway. And maybe somewhere down the line when the road finally bends, I'll find the peace I've been chasing around every curve again. The morning started breaking with a pale and tired light, spilling over open fields after one more endless night. I turned the wheel toward nowhere, but it felt a little less hard, like the road itself was whispering. Like the road itself was whispering, you don't have to outrun your heart. These midnight highway blues are part of who I am, written in the gravels and Caluses on my hands. Every mile I've ever driven, every truth I couldn't choose, lives forever in the rhythm of these midnight highway blues. When the final bar closes, with nothing left to prove, till then I'll keep on rolling underneath these moonlit hues, still singing to myself about these midnight highway blues. The highway hums like an old steel guitar. I spent a lifetime chasing sunsets down forgotten county roads, working long days beneath the sky and carrying heavy loads. I've seen the lights of distant towns and bars that never close, but none of them could ever shine the way my baby glows. She's waiting by the kitchen door when the daylight fades away, with a warm smile and open arms at the ending of the day. She never asked for fancy things or diamonds in the night. She's happy with a simple life and holding me real tight. The years have left their weather marks upon these working hands. The miles have worn my boots and taught me things I understand, that fortune comes and fortune goes like rivers after rain, but true love stays beside your heart through pleasure and through pain. I've watched friends lose what mattered most while chasing bigger dreams, learning too late this ain't all it seems. The richest man ain't measured by the money he can own, but by the love that's waiting when he finally comes back home. She's the light in my window on a cold and stormy night, the steady hand beside me when the road ain't going right. She's the song my heart keeps singing when the world turns dark and gray, the reason I keep moving on another working day. She's the prayer I never knew I needed all along, the gentle voice that somehow turns my weakness into strong. Through every mile and every year, one thing remains true. She's the light in my window, shining through. Sometimes we sit together on that old front porch swing, watching summer thunderstorms and listening to crickets sing, talking about the younger days and all the roads we've crossed, remembering the battles won and those we might have lost. The moon climbs above the fields, the stars begin to glow. The moon climbs high above the fields, the stars begin to glow. The same old sky we shared together all these years or so. And in those quiet moments I can clearly understand why heaven sent an angel. She's the light in my window on a cold and stormy night, the steady hand beside me when the road ain't going right. She's the song my heart keeps singing when the world turns dark and gray, the reason I keep moving on another working day. She's the prayer I never knew I needed all along, the gentle voice that somehow turns my weakness into strong. Through every mile and every year, one thing remains true. She's the light in my window, shining through. When my hair turns silver and these hands begin to slow, there'll still be one sweet face beside me wherever I may go. The world can keep its treasures and the gold it loves to chase in her smile and gentle grace. She's the one who stood beside me through the rise and through the fall. If I had just one song to leave before my days are through, I'd sing about the woman who was always true. Yes, she's the light in my window, still shining bright home to you. You came to me like a summer breeze, soft as the whispering of the trees, a gentle light in a weary soul, mending the pieces that weren't whole. I had walked through lonely years of rain, carrying old scars and hidden pain. Then your smile broke through the clouds above and taught my heart to believe in love. Every morning felt a little more bright, every dark road seemed to lead to light. You never asked for anything in return, only gave me lessons I needed to learn. The world felt smaller when you were near, the future seemed a little more clear. And for a while I thought you'd always stay, like the sunrise greeting every day. You were wings across the evening sky, a beautiful dream passing by, before the night carried you away, though your shadow set paints beyond burns bright. And I'll hold your love until the day I die. You were wings across the evening sky. The seasons turned and the years moved on, but some precious things are never gone. Ice reminding me of every hopeful choice. The river flows past, moving endlessly, just as time set paint spin endlessly across the horizon where earth meets wind. You were wings across the evening sky, a beautiful dream passing by. The shining night carried you away, though your shadow set paints beyond burns bright. And I'll hold your love until the day I die. You were wings across the evening sky.
Maybe angels aren't meant to remain, maybe they're sent to ease our pain, to teach us how to heal and grow, then leaves for one more day with you. I know your heart was always true, and every blessing within my memory.
You were wings across the evening sky, a beautiful dream passing by, a shining star that helped me find my way before the night carried you away. Though the years may fade like falling rain, the love you left will still remain. And every time I look up high, I'll see your wings across the evening sky. The stars appear where daylight ends, The wind still sings your sweet goodbye like wings across the evening sky. The sun was falling low beyond the canyon walls that day, painting gold across the mountains as we slowly rode away, with a saddlebag of memories and a promise to defend, two hearts against the world, together to the end. The sheriff's men were closing in, their shadows on the trail, dust rising in the distance like a storm upon the plain. But she never showed a trace of fear beneath the crimson sky. She simply took my hand and said, we'll face this side by side. We found a little chapel where the wildflower used to grow, a place we dreamed of visiting many years ago. The bell was old and weathered, the paint had worn away, yet it stood there through the seasons like our mournful gentle sound, as if the earth itself knew what was soon to happen now. Still she smiled like morning sunshine breaking through the rain, and for a little moment all the world felt whole again. Ride with me to Santa Rosa, where the evening meets the dawn, where the memories last the darkness and the stars refuse to shine. Know my heart will ride beside you through the end of time. Ride with me through every shadow, every valley, every storm, for a love that's built on truth can never be undone when the final road before us fades into the night light. The church bell echoed softly as the riders drew near, a warning carried gently through the desert atmosphere. The horses grew uneasy, the sky began to gray, and fate came riding toward us at the ending of the day. I held her close beside me while the thunder filled the air. Every dream we'd ever shared seemed suspended somewhere there. The world became a heartbeat and a whisper in the wind, a story reaching slowly toward its bittersweet end, where broken roads grow peaceful and lost love lives again. Maybe heaven waits beyond the hills we cannot see, holding all the dreams that slipped away so quietly. The moon appeared above us like a lantern in the sky, casting silver on the desert where the coyotes cry. And though the night grew colder, one thing remained true: there was nowhere in this world I'd rather be than with you. Ride with me to Santa Rosa, where forever starts tonight. Every mile we've traveled, every prayer we've ever known, leads us to a place where love through the great eternal blue. And if the world remembers us, let it remember too, that two hearts kept believing when the road was hard to see, and love became the legacy. The desert wind keeps singing, the old church bell still rings, and somewhere beyond the horizon, two riders ride on forever. I watched the evening shadows cross the floor and thought about the days we had before, the little things I should have done for you, the silent ways I failed to see the truth. You gave your love so freely every day, while I was always drifting far away. Now every memory returns so clear, like an old familiar melody I hear. I remember Sunday mornings by your side, the way you'd smile and never try to hide, the dreams we built upon a simple plan, believing love would always understand. But time can steal the moments we ignore, leaving empty echoes behind the door. And now the house feels larger than before, since you don't walk these hallways anymore. These are the words I never said, the feelings I kept locked away instead. You were the light that guided all restways. If I could turn the hands of time around. These are the words I never said, still living with the echoes in my head. The old oak tree still stands beside the lane, like it remembers sunshine after rain. And every season brings another sign of all the love I should have recognized. The photographs are fading on the wall, but your sweet laughter hasn't faded at all. It's carried gently through the passing years, a song that somehow never disappears. These are the words I never said, the feelings I kept locked away instead. You were the light that guided all restways. If I could turn the hands of time around. These are the words I never said, still living with the echoes in my head. I wasn't blind, I only took for granted the precious gift that heaven softly handed. And though the years keep moving on somehow, I feel your presence even now. Every sunset paints you know reminds me why a love like yours could never choices that we made. These are the words I never said, the feelings I kept locked away instead. You were the light that guided all restways. If I could turn the hands of time around. These are the words I never said, still living with the echoes in my head. And if somewhere beyond these distant skies you can still hear this old heart cry, know that every beat and every breath I find still carries you within my mind. The sun is rising over fields of gold, another story waiting to be told. I hear the engine humming soft and low. There's 1,000 little towns I want to know. The map is folded on the passenger seat. Every winding road feels bittersweet. I left behind the worries of yesterday and let the rolling tires lead the way. Every mile is a memory in the making. Every turn is a chance worth taking. I'm back to the open highway, following the line of the dawn, singing with the wind beside me, keeping my wandering spirit strong. The world keeps moving around me like a never-ending country song. I'm back to the open highway, and that's where I belong. Small town diner and a cup of coffee black, friendly faces asking where I'm headed at. The jukebox plays an old familiar tune while the morning disappears the new. I wave goodbye and carry on again, past rivers, hills and weathered wooden fences. The sky above stretches endlessly, a wide open promise calling me free. Every mile is a memory in the making. Every turn is a chance worth taking. I'm back to the open highway, following the line of the dawn, singing with the wind beside me, keeping my wandering spirit strong. The world keeps moving around me like a never-ending country song. I'm back to the open highway, and that's where I belong. I've seen storms roll across the plains, felt sunshine after pouring rain, met dreamers chasing something new, and found a little piece of truth. The road may never have an end, but every journey is a friend, teaching lessons with every passing sign, 1 mile at a time. I'm back to the open highway, following the line of the dawn, singing with the wind beside me, keeping my wandering spirit strong. The world keeps moving around me like a never-ending country song. I'm back to the open highway, and that's where I belong. The stars are shining over the countryside. Tomorrow waits beyond the bend. Moonlight settles softly on the river bend tonight, silver shadows dancing underneath the pale moonlight. There's a lonely train that's rolling somewhere far beyond the hills, and every whistle carries memories that linger with me still. I can almost hear your laughter floating through the summer air. like an old familiar melody that always finds me there. Every road I've ever traveled, every city, every mile still leads me back to moments wrapped inside your gentle smile. The years have come and gone like autumn leaves upon the wind, bringing countless faces, but none quite like you again. I've watched the seasons changing through 1,000 window panes, yet your memory keeps blooming like a flower after rain. There were nights of celebration, there were days of bitter loss, times I wandered aimlessly and paid the traveler's cost. But whenever darkness gathered and the stars were hard to find, your name would shine before me like a lantern in my mind. Carolina in my heart, you're the song I can't forget, like a golden sunset fading but still glowing in the west. Every dream I've ever chased, every road I've left behind, keeps bringing me back home to Carolina in my heart. I remember Sunday mornings with the church bells ringing clear, children laughing at the cornets telling stories from the past, the scent of jasmine drifting from the porch beside the lane, thunder rolling softly with a warm and gentle rain. Those little pieces of a life that time could never steal remain as vivid now as anything I've ever felt. Maybe life is just a journey through 1,000 changing scenes, holding tightly to the people and the places in our dreams. Though the years may keep on passing and tomorrow may depart, some chambers of the heart. Carolina in my heart, you're the light that still remains, like an old beloved melody returning once again. When the final curtain falls and these weary days are through, I'll be singing Carolina and remembering you. Carolina in my heart. I left that little town on a summer night with a worn-out truck and a dream in sight. The radio humming an old country tune, rolling through the darkness beneath the moon. Mama waved softly from the porch light glow, said, son, there's a lot about life you don't know. I smiled and laughed as I pulled away, thinking tomorrow would be my day. But the road gets longer than it seems, and life ain't always what you dream. I'm going back where the dust still flies, where the wind still sings through fields of gold. Back to the place where I learned to stand with calloused fingers and working hands, no matter how far these wheels may lead me home. I've seen neon cities and crowded bars, bright white lights and expensive cars. I've met good people and some who lied, watched friendships fade with the changing tide. There were night sips fade with the changing tide. There were nights I slept beneath open skies, counting my blessings and asking why. The farther I traveled from where I'd been, the more I missed where my life began. The road keeps teaching lesson after lesson. Sometimes the answer is in the question. I'm going back where the dust still flies, where the wind still sings through fields of gold. Back to the place where I learned to stand with calloused fingers and working hands, no matter how far these wheels may lead me home. The years keep rolling like highway lines, some you lose and some you find. The world keeps turning, seasons change, but some things never drift away. The smell of rain on a gravel road, the voice of family calling you home, the simple truth that I've come to know. Roots run deeper than we ever show. I'm going back where the dust still flies, under those wide and endless skies, where every sunset paints the land and every neighbor lends a hand. Back to the place where my heart belongs, where front porch nights become old songs. No matter how far these wheels may roam, that old dirt road will lead me home. still fly.